Assalamualaikum class. Here we are going to start exercise 1.2 computing limits. In exercise 1.1 we have discussed at how we can find out the limit value at some point using graph or the graphical approach, but now we are going to discuss it mathematically. So here we have some basic limits. For example, the first one is a constant function. So as we know that the constant function is independent of the variable, so limit does not affect its values. It will always remain the same for any point or for any value of x. For example, for y is equal to k, here is the graph of the function y is equal to k. So when we approach any arbitrary point a from left hand side or from right hand side, both have the same answers, that is k, or the same function value. So for limit x approaches to ax, we are having an identity function, so it must be equal to k a. And for graphically as well, we are having the straight line y is equal to x over here, and when we approach a from left hand side or from right hand side, we are having the same answer, that is a. For limit x approaches to 0 from left hand side, we know that when we put 0 in 1 over x, we will get infinity, but now we have to decide that it is going to be positive infinity or negative infinity. So here is the graph of 1 over x. So when we approach 0 from left hand side, it is negative infinity. For approaching 0 from right hand side, it is positive infinity. Here is a theorem representing some basic rules for limit. For example, whenever we are having addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or some power of the function, the limit does not affect its operations. That is, we are just going to simplify or apply it separately. Limit x approaches to a f plus g will be equal to limit x approaches to a f plus limit x approaches to a g. For example, limit x approaches to 5x square minus 4x plus 3. So by using the theorem we have already discussed, that we are just going to separate out the limit. So limit x approaches to a x square, x approaches to 5x square minus limit of x approaches to 5 4x plus limit x approaches to 5 3, and then this constant multiple will be taken out, and this is the constant function as it remains the same. So you do not need to show these two steps, you can directly come to this step as well. So we are just going to put the value of x, that is 5, in the given expression. 5 square minus 4 into 5 plus 3. So here we have the answer 8. Here we have question number 4 from the exercise. Limit x approaches to 3x cube minus 3x square plus 9. So simply put x is equal to 3 in the expression, and 27 is the answer. Then we have question number 8. Limit t approaches to minus 2t cube plus 8 over t plus 2. So simply put t is equal to minus 2 in the expression. We will get 0 by 0, which is an indeterminate form. It means this one cannot be the answer. So what we have to do, we have to simplify the expression first, and then we will apply the limit on it. So in order to simplify it, we can just factorize the numerator, which is t cube plus 8. We know that t cube is the cube of t and 8 is the cube of 2, so it means we can apply the formula a cube plus b cube, which is equal to a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. So inserting the values over here, we get t plus 2 into t square minus 2t plus 4 over t plus 2. So here is the final simplified form, t square minus 2t plus 4. Now putting t is equal to minus 2, we get 12 as an answer. Next we have question number 12. Limit x approaches to 1 3x square minus x minus 2 over 2x square plus x minus 3. Again, when we put x is equal to 1 in the expression, we get 0 by 0, that is indeterminate form. So it means we have to simplify it, and for this we have to factorize it. So we have applied the middle term breaking over here, and the factors are 3x plus 2 into x minus 1 over x minus 1 into 2x plus 3. So these will be cancelled out, and the simplified form is going to be 3x plus 2 over 2x plus 3. Inserting the value of the limit or the value of the x, we get 1 as an answer. Next we have infinite limits that we have already discussed in exercise 1.1 graphically. So here we have limit x approaches to a from right hand side 1 over x minus a. So as we are approaching a from right hand side, it will be positive infinity. For approaching from left hand side, it will be negative infinity. So when we have 1 over x minus a whole square, limit x approaches to a, so because of this square, we know that either from left hand side or right hand side the answer will be positive, so it will approach to positive infinity. So these are infinite limits. There is one another way to decide the sign of infinity in the case of such expressions. For example, for 1 over x minus a, we will apply the method we normally discussed in pre-calculus, which is named as the sign chart for solving the rational or polynomial inequalities. So I will share the link of its solution, which is basically exercise 1.8 from the course 101. So you can also go through it in order to cover this topic. So when we draw the sign chart for this expression, what we are going to do, we will draw or put the zeros of numerator and denominator separately. Here numerator is only 1, so there is no 0 for it, and the denominator is getting 0 for x is equal to a. So here we have x is equal to a. Now we will put the sign. For putting the sign, we will go toward the coefficient of x. If it is positive, then positive on right hand side. If the coefficient is negative, then we will put negative on the right hand side. So right now it is positive, so positive on right hand side, negative on left hand side. So when we come to this point, that limit x approaches to a from right hand side, it will be positive infinity. Limit x approaches to a from left hand side, it will be negative infinity. So here we have question number 16, limit x approaches to 3 from left hand side, x over x minus 3. So when we put x is equal to 3 directly, we will get 3 by 0, that is infinity. But now we have to decide if it is positive infinity or negative infinity. That is, we are going to draw the sign chart for this. And in order to draw the sign chart, we know that the numerator is getting 0 at x is equal to 0, and denominator is getting 0 at x is equal to 3. So here we have put these two values on the sign chart or on the real line. So we are having 3 intervals now. So when we put the signs for 0, here the coefficient of x is positive, so positive on right hand side and negative on left hand side. Then come to the point 3. Here is this distribution of 3, and for 3 the coefficient of x is positive, so positive on right hand side and negative on left hand side. Then we will multiply these, negative negative positive, negative positive. Here we have the sign chart. Now limit x approaches to 3 from left hand side, and on the left hand side of 3 it's negative, so it will be negative infinity. Next we have question number 18, limit x approaches to 2 from right hand side, x over x square minus 4. So what we are going to do, we will draw the sign chart for it as well, because denominator is getting 0 and we will have infinity for this. So when we draw the sign chart, you can see that there are 1 0 for numerator and 2 for the denominator. So numerator is getting 0 at 0. Then there are 2 zeros of the denominator, which are plus 2 and minus 2. So here we have plus 2 and here we have minus 2. So now we are total having 4 intervals. Now in order to draw the signs for 2, we are having positive coefficient, so positive on right hand side, negative on left hand side. Then for 0, again positive on right hand side, negative on left hand side, and for minus 2, positive on right hand side and negative on left hand side. So here is the final sign chart for our given expression. So when we are approaching 2 from right hand side, it will be positive infinity, and for approaching 2 from left hand side, obviously it must be equal to negative infinity. Next we have question number 22, limit y approaches to 6 from left hand side, y plus 6 over y square minus 36. So directly it will be equal to infinity. So in order to check that either it is positive infinity or negative infinity, we have to draw the sign chart. Now there are two methods. You can draw the sign chart for this expression, or you can simplify the expression first and then you can draw the sign chart. So when I simplified it, I get 1 over y minus x. So when I 6, so when I draw the sign chart for this, here is 6, positive on left hand side, negative on positive on right hand side, sorry, and negative on left hand side. So whenever we are approaching 6 from left hand side, it must be equal to negative infinity. Next we have question number 28, limit x approaches to 3 from left hand side, 1 over mod of x minus 3. Now we know that mod is making every answer or every number positive. That's why it doesn't affect that either we are approaching from left hand side or right hand side, the values will be positive. So we will have positive infinity as an answer. Then we have question number 30, limit y approaches to 4, 4 minus y over 2 minus square root of y. Again directly it is going to be 0 by 0 form, so we have to simplify it first. And in order to simplify it, you know that we cannot factorize this directly, but we can go towards the rationalization. So for rationalization, we are going to multiply and divide the given expression with 2 plus square root of y. Why we are choosing 2 plus square root of y? Because we are having 2 minus square root of y, and we know that a minus b into a plus b will be equal to a square minus b square, so it will be simplified further. So 4 minus y into 2 plus square root of y, applying the formula over here, that is a square minus b square, we will get 2 plus square root of y, and inserting the value we get 4 as an answer. Next we have limit of piecewise defined functions. So we know that piecewise defined function is basically defined in pieces, or the function that have different definitions in different pieces of its domain. So the best example is mod of x, which is x for greater than or equal to 0, and minus x for x less than 0, because its total domain is set of all real numbers. So we have break the domain into two parts. So here we have question number 32. G of t is a piecewise defined function, that is t minus 2 for t less than 0, then t square for t lying between 0 and 2, and for 2t for t greater than 2. So here is the first part that we have to evaluate. Limit t approaches to 0, g of t. So when we say that limit t approaches to 0, so we know that when we are approaching to 0, we are having different definitions. When we approach 0 from left hand side, it will be t minus 2, and when we approach 0 from right hand side, it will be t square. So we have to discuss the limits separately. So whenever we are having a piecewise defined function and we are going to find out the limit at some point, it is always necessary to check out that either we are having same definitions on left and right hand side of the number or different definitions. So limit t approaches to 0 from left hand side, we are using the expression t minus 2, so we will get minus 2 as an answer. And for limit t approaches to 0 from right hand side, the expression will be t square, or the definition will be t square, so 0 will be the answer, as left hand side limit is not equal to the right hand side. That's why the two-sided limit does not exist in this case. Then we have limit t approaches to 1, g of t. Now for t approaches to 1, you can see that 1 is belonging to this interval, so either we are approaching to 1 from left hand side or right hand side, the answer will be the same, or the definition will be the same, which is t square. So you do not need to discuss the limit separately. In this case, limit t approaches to 1, g of t will be equal to, applying on t square, it will be equal to 1. Then we have limit t approaches to 2, g of t. Again come to the function, as we are having our domain break at the point t is equal to 2, it means we are having different definitions on left and right hand side. So for left hand side of 2, we will use t square, and for right hand side we will use 2t. So for left hand side we have used t square, and we will get 4 as an answer. For right hand side limit, we will use 2t and 4 again answer, as left hand side limit is equal to the right hand side. That's why the two sided limit exists, and it will be equal to 4.